to establish safety in the relationship, for him to reveal a lot of details about his arousal template and how he acts out and his story and when that started in his life and all of that, to actually come to this insight that it's not about the perfect woman. It's about the perfect woman makes you the perfect man. And there's the rub. None of us feel like the perfect man, do we?
No. And what's funny about, not funny, what is ironic about that analogy is there is no such thing as the perfect woman. It just feels that way in my arousal. When I get excited, I mean, it's like what they call it, like beer goggles, right? You have 4 or 5 beers and everybody's a 10. So in my desperation, I find this person who fits my arousal template. She checks all the boxes, or he checks all the boxes that make me come alive. And I see them and I'm drawn to them and I want to fit with them. And yet there is no click. There's no true integration in acting out in that way with that person, because it's a substitute for, and I'm just going to say this, for loving myself. I cannot and will not recover or stop my shameful behaviors or build healthy relationships or even find God if I cannot accept all the parts of me, those things that are very good. I mean, dude, it's so challenging for me to sit with how I am gifted, because I want to be like, somebody pays me a compliment, I'm like, oh, well, thank you so much. That yeah, whatever. I want to poo-poo that. But the reality is I have a hard time accepting that and loving that, as well as the things that I've screwed up and really, are ashamed of and still to this day struggle in. That's the interpersonal garden from which I'm trying to grow.
Yeah, so I love that. I love that metaphor that you just said, the garden, because we were created, again, back to the creation narrative, we're created to live in this garden named Eden. The word means delight. We're created to live in a place of delight and shalom. And shalom is simply the biblical word for integration, what you're talking about. We're whole. We're able to hold in tension this reality that there is goodness and there is shadow in me, right? And instead of this very binary way of looking at the world as there's good Scott and there's bad Scott, and that's one of the things that happens in trauma, is that fragmentation breaks me apart into these different parts of myself that I have to hide.